I present to thee. Yeah, this is my cat. She's in heat. Alright, this is gonna be Sky's reading, and this is a love reading. I broke it down based off of what she specifically requested. So first, we're gonna talk about a perceived rejection, the aftermath of that situation. Then we're gonna get into Axel's world. Then Axel's response. This kind of ties into the aftermath, so I might switch that. But and then she also wants to know about a trip that she's been planning, a concert to Las Vegas. She wants to know whether or not her person can like afford it, or like if they would be available. And then whoa. Hey, Sky. Speaking of the devil. Then she wanted to know like whether or not it would be safe if she went by herself, or if she should like sell her ticket, and then whether or not suggesting going together would be like putting pressure on the situation, because her person, the rejection in question was like a boundary that this person created. And then we're gonna have everything up with general life advice. And Sky, I'm glad that you're here because I also got a couple channel songs for you. So I don't know if you want to like pause or screenshot, but those are those. And I'll hold it up here for a little bit longer. I don't really know how this part ties in, but it came to mind while I was writing. So yeah, I'm just gonna put that like here, and we're gonna start with the Bone Dead Tarot. This is actually a deck that Sky gave me, and I also wanted to mention the Transformers because I feel like this could be a person who like has a Jekyll and Hyde, they have a mechanical version and then like a humanoid version. I don't know how that really applies, but I'm just picking up on like a difference between two different selves, and both of those selves still being self. So it's not like this person is like being necessarily duplicit. I just think that this person has the ability to transform or shapeshift in some way. And right as I said that, I thought about Jacob, Taylor Lautner. Okay. So, like, while we're doing this, you can't see on camera, but my cat is, like, nudging my arm and, like, hitting it. My dog is now moving towards the door to look out of it. So, angels, ancestors, and spirit guides, please help me to use this deck to connect with Sky's energy and the energy of her relationship with Axel. So we're gonna start with this whole, and I really like, my guides when I was playing this made me put perceived over like rejection and apathy. So we're talking about like kind of like the rejection that you feel, and then their perception of your apathy. And it's like, in your case, it's not true apathy. You know how you really feel, but you intentionally kind of like dial yourself down. So your guides are like straight out the gate wanting you to already believe in the fact that your person's in a similar energy, where like how you are depicting yourself through actions is not actually the truth of your inner world. So as much as you're capable of doing that, this person's also capable of doing that. So there's could be like a mutual performance, or both of you could be in like a transformed protective version of your normal self. Okay, so what does Sky need to know about that perceived rejection and the repercussions that that's going to have over the near future of this relationship? Can you stop moving around? You're scratching my... I'm having relationship problems with my cat right now. She represents my shadow. She has a stellium in my 8th house. She's an Aries stellium. So, okay, we have the 5 of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords in reverse, and the Emperor. And I'm going to keep these all like bunched together. I think they're meant to come out that way. And that feels like that's part of a story. Specifically, this card starting off is some kind of like neutral position. This one being elevated and then this one being like a base or below the surface. Show me the story, please. Just show me the story. Then we have the King of Wands in reverse. Eight of Wands. The literal card called the Aftermath at the bottom of the deck. Can you see that? Okay, you can. Cool. So, we have someone who's kind of like in their feelings. I definitely feel like this is an energy that you both can relate to. So I'm going to describe it first as if it's your person, but I think you'll also be able to find resonance in some of what I'm saying about this person. So this is someone who feels like they need to kind of like turn to the dark side of themselves. There's some kind of value to being on the dark side of the moon right now for this person, and they are striving towards being or doing whatever is necessary to accomplish whatever goals or need to be accomplished kind of in the dark. These aren't like the kind of goals that they would announce to people, but they are related to this person's like personal growth, development, or maybe even their career. Their identity creation also. So whatever like side quest or side mission this person has to embark on, it's so that they can feel more empowered in themselves, maybe even in their masculinity, in their ability to get things done or accomplish things in the world. They could have a position of authority that they're literally striving for, and whatever they're accomplishing on the dark side of the moon could be related to their ability to sit in a throne with a true sense of authority. Not that this person isn't already like really powerful and strong, but this person probably has a lot to prove to themselves about what their power is. Like, this is someone who has a throne, but they're standing up from it to like demonstrate or like wield the big blade. This reminds me of Guts from Berserk. So yeah, this person is pretty much focused on just moving forward, blasting their way through the situation. And when I said blasting, I thought of Star Wars. Wars. We talked a little bit about politics, Sky, like me and you. I wonder if that in any way plays a role in this person's career, like their political affiliations and also the responsibilities that come along with the roles of authority that give them the resources that they need. It's like this, like they may have a job role or a job description that only really touches the surface of what they do. Basically, like, you know, the Transformer, there's more to you than meets the eye. Like, this is definitely someone who maybe even intentionally reveals or like, not reveals, but conceals the truth of what it means for them to be sitting in that throne. I think around like people who also do this thing, they would maybe be more like open or expressive about, because there's like a lizard on this chair, so it's like maybe a little reptilian and cold-blooded kind of actions, behaviors, speech even. Like, I'm talking about this person having like multiple selves. It's like whoever they are to you is not necessarily who they are in the world, perhaps. And that's something to just kind of keep in mind moving forward, is that maybe you really don't know exactly everything that has been going on that has intentionally not been shown to you. So in the aftermath of this like perceived rejection, I think you're being inspired to like think a lot about what you don't know. Because I think this could have come as something that was like shocking to you, what this person maybe has said or like what boundaries they've created for you. You didn't anticipate them. And you may not be a person, or like you may not be used to operating in this relationship with like a sense of constraint, because maybe before there was no need to really hold back anything. Or at least you didn't perceive that, because like this is a reading that talks a lot about like your perceptions and then the confrontation of truth. So if like you were like feeling really confident, this is definitely a situation that has come in to shake up your confidence, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't let that land. I think that you're a person who like, and this person is also a person who likes to feel confident in their like autonomy and independence and ability to make the choices that they think are best for them. But this is a situation where maybe you even really need to ask yourself, is this the best thing for me right now? And I think for sure your person has asked themselves that question. And whatever like thought process they've been through, it led them into the need to separate. So like, yeah, and then there's the tower. I really feel like there's a lot more underneath the surface here. And it's not that like you would never ever know about some of these things. Like maybe they would eventually reveal these things like through demonstrated loyalty, like your endurance for what you continue to not know may eventually lead this person to revealing a softer side of themselves. Even though that softer side of themselves doesn't really seem like it's really that soft. The softer side of themselves could be actually the more abrasive, darker, dangerous parts of themselves. But those are the parts of them that they feel the most needs to conceal and protect from everyone around them. Which is interesting because it's also something that really fuels their sense of like superiority or strength in the world. It's like they have a strength, but they feel like they have to hide it. This person, I think, is really proud of whatever this thing is that they can't tell anybody. Yeah, because like it gives them a position of authority in the world. Like they feel like they're above other people in having whatever this power is. I do think that this, like, you know, this separation could have been initiated just for the sake of creating a power dynamic. Because this Five of Pentacles, like the first card that did come out, is a card that alludes to insecurity. So this could be someone who is overcompensating for their insecurities by dominating other people, which in this relationship would be you. Not because you're really anything less than them, but because they have the big sword and maybe you just have a stick, you know? And that's part of this person's shadow that you need to like continue to become aware of. Is this person does have a dominant spirit and maybe does rely on you to seek them out as a way to like create a cycle or system of validation for them. Why is the Five of Pentacles here? This person is like kind of forcing you to like surrender your pride in the situation. And I don't know that like really you deserve that. But they would certainly like if you would give up your pride for their sake. I might have to close the door. I hear people outside. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna close it. Hey, buddy boy. Can you hop up? Excuse me. Sorry for the interruption. I don't like people listening to me. Whoa! I didn't mean you guys. Relax. Relax, relax, relax. Relax, relax. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but they're literally like the dog like peed on the cards and I had to clean them off, but the dog is representing to me more and more like third-party interference because I never really had problems in my house until this dog came around. Like I don't have problems with potty training until this dog came around. So this could be like a situation that's being a variable that's being kind of like introduced to this relationship. And you may not even be aware that this exists. Because once again, this is like this person wanting to conceal things for the sake of being able to continue as planned, or in the way that they see like best fit. Like this is a person who like does a lot of self prioritizing in this energy. So yeah, you're like kind of being humbled by this person because they feel insecure but have a need to be strong and seen as strong and as a desirable thing that has people coming to them. While you're separated from this person, you're continuing to kind of, like, both of you play this game of like wearing costumes, not showing up as the truth of yourself. And I would just say, like, be cautious of that energy and how, to what extent, like, you're taking that, because I would, I don't know when that would end if you both are pretending, but I also don't think that it's necessarily fair that you would have to always be the one to surrender your ego. So if this person has created a cycle, that's a bit codependent with this devil energy, where they need you to constantly validate them, like, and they initiate that cycle through like shocking information that makes you feel isolated. It's not like really cool of them, honestly, objectively speaking. And it makes it difficult for you to continue to like want to, like, like, this is a situation where I like literally piss on the card. Like, this would piss me off, especially because this isn't a person that actually doesn't like you or anything. Like, this is just someone who, for whatever reason, whatever interfering factor, is not prioritizing maybe their obligations to their role to you in this connection, even beyond like boyfriend girlfriend, but also just like, I respect your autonomy, your freedom, and what you represent in the world. I would say if this person is trying to like bait or taunt you into having explosive, passionate, emotional responses to them, then that would be something that, it's maybe a little bit more degrading than what I would personally go for. Not that, there's any judgment coming through here from me. But that's what, like, the objective energy looks like. Because you see how, like, this was, like, the energy of, like, I was kind of seeing that as them at first. And a lot of these cards are, like, I got what I wanted and I'm moving forward. But the bottom, everything here is reversed. Like, underneath it all is all the problems that still exist that haven't been addressed. So this is just, like, bare bones aftermath. So moving forward from here, we're going to talk about Axel's reaction to your apathy. So I'm going to switch up the order a little bit. And I'm going to do that with the Woodland Warden's deck, apparently. I was so mad when the dog did that. But I also have been primarily using this deck to do readings on this channel because it's like my favorite everyday deck now. And recently I discovered a third party in my relationship that I didn't even know existed. And I figure she's known that I existed for longer than I knew that she existed. And so I interpret based off of the energy, because I do a lot of love readings with that deck too, that would be a result of her not liking the fact that I have a stronger connection with the person that she's attached to more directly. So there could be some insecure, like, people just in this orbit right now. And I'm saying insecure, but I don't really mean that to condemn these people. It's just like, the objective truth is that, like, people wouldn't react in the way that they do or initiate some of these cycles that they do if they weren't insecure. So there's a lot to learn about like who you're dealing with and where they are in their state of mind based on like how they're acting and whether or not that alludes to insecurity. And that might let you know better whether or not to take certain things personally, or like whether or not this is something that you can look over, kind of a thing. Because if you understand, and we're gonna talk about this person's like heart and mind and soul and all that stuff later, but like if you understand that this person's like going through something, you feel that, and you understand this person seeks validation in ways that are maybe not always the best, but you know that this is your person. I'm not saying like, you know, like darn them to hell or like darn this relationship to hell. I'm really just trying to point out that if you felt a way about that, it makes sense why you felt a way about that, and why it might be hard for you to like continue to want to invest here when this person is not giving you like the green light to do that. And pretty much every single deck that I've chosen for this reading turned out to have green. So heart chakra energy could be significant. And I even drank out of a green mug this morning. So heart chakra could be really significant actually. But yeah, this is going to be how they reacted to your apathy or perceived apathy. Because Sky's person basically randomly was like, I just want to be friends. At a time that was kind of sensitive for her. And, you know, she was like, okay, whatever, bro. And then I think her person was probably expecting her to have more of a reaction. So let's see what their reaction actually was to her reaction. How did Axel feel when Sky released him? How did Axel feel? We have the goat, overcoming obstacles, the vulture, and asphodel, upheaval. The duck and chrysanthemum in reverse, luck. Cat and lavender, independence. The hound and pear, loyalty. Can I have just one more? Thanks. And the coyote and datura, deceit. Yeah, I honestly think this person was expecting you to be able to, or expecting themselves to be able to duck the consequences of this more than they actually were. So yeah, you could notice that this person is playing dead now. Like they're acting like the victim of a circumstance, or as if they're unaware as to why things could be how they are now. I think this person understands that you have a black cat way of being, but they may not have seen you actually put that into practice very often towards them. So whatever like dark feminine energy you're now exuding, it feels like that's new for them specifically to face directly. This person expects to be able to like get through this. I think they understand the ways where like they've behaved cheaply. Like, you know how like these are scavengers and they'll literally just eat anything. So if this person has behaved like in a way that was disloyal to you, I think they have an acknowledgement internally of what that is. Maybe not so much external expression of that. But the ways in which this person is dark, I think they were already aware. Honestly. I think this person could have a bit of a sadistic way of being. This person could like being the thing that can hurt you, which is why I think they were expecting to be able to like maybe duck some of the heat of this a little bit more, because I think that they expect you to be bouncier than you were. I don't think they understood how sensitive you may have been in that moment of rejection. I think This feels like almost being called out for this person. Um, in a way. Because however maybe you usually respond allows them to come back in easier, and now it feels like there's some kind of hidden wall that they have to now come and jump over in order to bring themselves out of independence. And I don't know that this person is used to being the one who has to like submit. Even though they do have this kind of practiced loyalty to you, they're not really the type to submit. So they've put themselves like through their own actions in a position where like the only real balanced way back in is to submit, like revoke what they have previously said. And this person, I don't know that they are really in the energy of wanting to do that right now. But it doesn't seem like this, like in their mind, would be like the end all be all. So whatever optimism you have about how things can change in the future, I feel like they share that. Okay, so what's going on in Axel's world? I'm using the Wildwood Tarot for this. This is the Hierophant, and this is the Hermit, so Taurus and Virgo energy. Just any earth, really, because all of this green. Fuck, girl. Okay. The Seer is sticking out, and the Hawk. I mean, this seems like somebody who pays a lot of attention to you. And just attention in general. This is someone who can see maybe even really far away, somehow, some way. And in a very similar way, I think you are very attuned to them. Or just to nature in general. This is a slightly disapproving looking hawk. Huh. Okay, let's see how this builds. So, please want me to connect to Axel's energy now. We're leaving Sky's energy. We're talking about Axel exclusively. So what's going on in Axel's world? We have the Ace of Cups in reverse, the waters of life. We have the Knight of Cups, the eel, also in reverse. And then the High Priestess came out, which was you before. And the eel is like sneaking over towards that guy. So, and then he's looking back at her. Nice. 2 knights. I feel like, you know, if there is a need for submission, I do feel like that comes in. I think it could come in like in the most detached way possible. Like if this person has to do something to come back into your life, it seems that they want to do that. Maybe you're already planning to do that, but they're not gonna like maybe be like, I don't know. I can't tell how much they're giving to you in terms of like, I'm sorry that I said that when I didn't mean it really. But Ace of Cups in reverse, the waters of life. This person, I think they feel like they are not in control of themselves right now. And I think that could be what makes them feel insecure the most. What makes this person feel insecure, I think, is lack of control over how they direct their energy. Because if these were upright, This would be someone who has a stream that's coming into their life. They're at peace and harmony with it. They can drink freely from it and feel nourished by it. And then they can also travel in it. In the reverse, it's like, I don't know which direction to head in. I don't know where I'm going, really. Or I'm going somewhere I have to go because this is the current I'm being pushed down. And there could be something about what they have to do, things they have to see, and bogs them down energetically, especially spiritually speaking. This person could occasionally struggle to have faith in things they can't see. But they put a lot of effort into being aware. What else is going on in Axel's world? Two of Cups. Attraction. Why is the Ace of Cups here? Ace of Wands in reverse. Starting a fire. Nine of Wands, respect. Page of Wands. Well, yeah, this guy's a little rascal. I don't know if you know what this guy gets into, but it seems like he's getting into some stuff behind the scenes. Not all of it may be like because they want to, but because they need some kind of respect. And I think this person like is willing to do what it takes to get respect. So good for them. But that could mean that they have to weasel around in some kind of way that makes them have to make a difficult choice when it relates to you in this relationship. Excuse me. Six of Stones, exploitation. All the while that this person is like weaseling and eeling around and being a little slithery creature, they still are considerate. They still are considerate of what is within your best needs or your best interests. This is not someone who wants to, like, I mean, outside of like their own sadistic kind of ways, this isn't someone who wants to see you like down bad. So I think in some ways this person, like when they were like, hey, I want to see separation, it could have been because they were like literally restrained or restricted in some kind of way. Like this is a tool in the background, I don't know if you can see this, but it's broken. And that looks like it was like maybe used to till the soil. So like, and these kind of like beehives in the background. So like their functionality itself could have been in jeopardy, or like there were like demands on them. There's like even a fire in the background. So it just feels like a situation that caused them stress in their life also causes them to shut down for you. And this person is the kind of person where like what they look like when they shut down is not sad. You know? Like you guys are animal people, wild primal things. I think that this person is not the kind of person where like you'll know really when they're breaking down. Because like they may even become their most active, or like, you know that like manic depression thing, Jimi Hendrix? This seems like someone who would have like manic depression. Like they're not like crying, but maybe they're like being like really reckless or like angry, emotionally like a little unstable, which causes them to maybe like lash out, say hurtful things. And like, yeah, they may have done it to get a reaction that they wanted to get or expected to get a certain reaction, or not have been held accountable. But I don't think that this is something that like really truly reflects this person's truest intentions towards you. I think this is just a byproduct of where they were mentally, emotionally, and spiritually at the time. And I think that they would hope that you could see that in such a way that helps you outmaneuver their attacks on you. Like, they are attacking you, and like maybe they acknowledge that they are directing some kind of negative energy towards you for you to transmute, but they want to see you evade them. And expect to see you evade them in due time. I think that there's something about maybe them even, and this is supposed to be about like their world and their life, but like it was like I said in the beginning, this person like intentionally hides a lot of things. So like even going into their energy, most of what they're just talking about is like how they feel about you. Like a lot of this is more emotional energy. We came up with like straight water for the whole first row. So I would definitely say that you're someone that exists a lot in the front of their mind. And the emotions that that situation in a relationship inspires in them is like very much like the center of this person's life. Even though not really probably the highest priority of their actions. So in that way, you're kind of showing up like the anchor with this divine feminine empress energy and the high priestess. Like you are the spiritual and emotional anchor. You're the home. You're the mom. You're the comfort. But there's something about the course of this person's life right now and the way that that like directly opposes their ability to move towards what they want. This feels like out of their control, not a part of the plan. But still like initiating them into actions that could offend, I said offend, but like occasionally harm you in some way, emotionally. I think this person counts on you being able to see them for who they like really are. Especially when they can't express that to you. I think they would want you to not see it as like them stepping on you, but like both of you being in a tough spot at the same time. Mutual interest. Or like competing agenda, but like mutual interest kind of a thing. Okay, well, I mean, is there anything more that I'm allowed to? I wanted to know like about this person's life, and I kind of want to pull more cards, but then I'm kind of feeling like a little bit of no, don't pull more cards. I don't know what I should. Yeah. Look, this guy is hooded. Doesn't want to be known. And then we have like death. Whatever they're up to, this is their shadow. They're definitely in their shadow. And if they're not including you in that, it's like them prioritizing the best interest of you. So like, try to believe them. That they could be like carrying the burden of something strong, powerful, dangerous. Okay, so moving on. Now we're gonna talk about Vegas. Going to the Zayn concerts. So first, I wrote this in a particular order, but I think I'm gonna deviate again. So would like inviting Axel to the concert put pressure on the situation? Let's ask that first. Okay. So, please cleanse this deck of any energy that's not relevant to this part of the reading. And we're wanting to know about this Las Vegas Zane situation. Whether or not inviting Axel to the concert would put pressure. We have the Magician and the Hermit. We have Virgo, Virgo, Gemini. Lots of little stories coming out. Nice. Four of Swords, King of Swords. Jeez, it's not gonna fit. Page of Cups and a Hanged Man. So I feel like this is you, and you're like, oh my god, I had this really cool idea about like what we could do, and it's gonna be so much fun, and you're like in your mind thinking about like how it would go, and you know that this would be like a good place to do something like this, to have like a happy exchange and make good memories. And I think you're really like, you see how the guy's whole head is an eyeball? I think you're a visionarily led person. I think I remember you telling me you have a Pisces Venus, so that kind of makes sense. So you're like in this dreamy energy, like I know what to do to fix this problem, maybe even because maybe you're thinking that having this situation at the concert will be like your way back into like getting touchy-feely again. You're like, yeah, I can totally make this work. The other thing though is I think you're dealing with someone who's in a more scarce energy than you might know. And when I say scarce, I don't even know if I really mean financially. I think I really just mean like they're cold right now. Like this is a guy who usually is like on the side of a cliff. Like I said before, in the earlier first part with the Bone Bed Tarot, that triangle with the Emperor, Knight of Swords in reverse, and Five of Pentacles, they're in the Five of Pentacles. Like this is what that card reminded me of. So they're on the other dark side of the mountain. And I don't know that this person is going to pull themselves out of whatever cooking that they're doing on that dark side of the mountain, because this person feels like they're processing or working or doing something kind of important or valuable to them internally. So I don't know that this person would give the okay. Like it doesn't really seem like they would be moving forward with this plan. I think that the sharing of your vision would land because they like to know that they're a part of your happiness. But this person, you see how like all the yellow and happiness is exclusive to you. This person's not like sitting in happy energy. They're not like, I don't know. I feel like this person would appreciate the gesture, but I don't think they would move from their position. And that is that. That kind of answers the like money thing, I think. I'll just pull the surrounding cards and see. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I think they would definitely like, they would appreciate your vision, you know? For sure. I just don't know that it provokes them out of their position. They may even like, I don't know. I kind of feel like they feel like they could be being watched. I don't know how that applies. If it's, you know, I think you mentioned something about like picking up extra shifts. So something about like their boss or taking off work could be hard, or I don't know what that is. But there could maybe there could be something about their job, and the role they play, and the priorities that they have over enjoyment, personal enjoyment. Okay, whoa, that was crazy. And I don't even really remember where I left off. let me just do a quick refresher over like everything so far, because I was about to wrap it up. Like, you know, all the cards are pulled. But basically, I was saying, you have a vision of what you want to see happen at this event. I think that that vision is appreciated not only by your spiritual team, but by your person's spiritual team. It does seem like there's a bit of an energetic compatibility, because it seems like you're vibing whatever amount higher than this person, and for that reason I don't know that this person will be allowed or able or willing to take advantage of the opportunity, because it kind of seems like they're working on fostering some of this light that you have in abundance. Like this, whatever you have in abundance, this person doesn't have as much of, and they're doing what they need to do in whatever position they have to maintain what they have, and also see it grow in the future. So I don't know if this person has as much availability for recreation or whatever as they might want to. So yeah, that was basically that. They could be going through some dark night of the soul, and that will be divinely initiated for them. Something could have happened recently, like that triggered them into this more like shadowier energy. I just heard flare up. So yeah. Okay. So what does Sky do now? Does she go by herself, or does she sell the ticket? Find out this and more. So what about going to the concert by herself? Little Latina Betty in Vegas. What do Sky's guides, specifically her ancestors, because my ancestor deck, what do Sky's ancestors have to say about her going to this concert by herself? The Empress. Four of Cups in reverse. The Hermit. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Justice in reverse. Shadow Wizard Mahihe in reverse. Page of Swords. And the Three of Cups. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of seems like you would be a bit of a sitting duck for whatever things may lurk in the shadows. Especially those things with like more control over the land or more access than you think. I don't know. It seems like, you know, very obviously you're attractive. Maybe in this case a little too attractive. It would definitely be a demonstration of bravery and good faith. But maybe you would be, I don't know, would you have fun? Would you have fun, or would you be scared or anxious? So it's not that you can't do this, but it would require a certain mentality, maybe one that you're trying to develop, where you are more confident in your ability to stand alone. As a feminine, she's holding a sword here, so you would maybe definitely want to find a way to be armed. And if you can't be armed because it's a concert, then maybe you shouldn't go. Because this did initially come out in the reverse. I think it would be important for you to be able to defend yourself from whatever or whoever may want to, or see an opportunity in you, you know? And it would suck if you came out not safe or hurt in any kind of way, even if just mentally by like trauma. So I don't know. I don't know that I would go, especially not Vegas, I don't think. It's a bit of a major city for like traffic to move through. So if it was me, I wouldn't. I have gone to a concert before, like alone, but it was a small venue. I don't really get the vibe that this is a small venue. And it seems like there could be a lot more of these like shadowier type of individuals, both masculine and feminine, in your presence, and there's like a energy of deception, deceivers, because these people are colder on the inside than they appear to be. And you are just as sweet, like inside and out. So I don't know that you really expect or suspect these kinds of people, or you know, would be well equipped to handle them if you did, you know, perceive them without support in some kind of way. I think your guides want to make sure that you're comfortable. So whatever decision you end up making, it needs to be one that like you feel comfortable standing by, even in the presence of like new variables. Like if random things were introduced to the situation, like have you planned out all the ways you need to escape or could escape? Like how familiar are you with the area, with the venue? And if you don't feel like you can answer all those questions confidently, then I would say just watch out, because I'm just now noticing for the first time that this tree has eyes, you know? So even the things that you wouldn't maybe even perceive as being a threat could be. Could she sell the ticket? Seven of Cups in reverse. Okay, I feel like you should sit tight. I feel like you should sit tight, because it kind of seems like whatever that cold individual that I was picking up on, if it's not like an individual, then it's just like a masculine presence. It could cause disaster in your life in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just like by robbing you. I think you're looking like too sweet of a treat to kind of be around some of these types. I do think that someone else might find value in what you have to offer, if you are offering it. But yeah, I do think that you're encouraged to remain comfortable away from like the crowd and guarded. So whatever you end up doing, it seems like the best thing to do is the thing that keeps you safe. Okay, so just to close now, boom, we're gonna get some general life guidance, and I'm gonna use the Moonology deck. Sorry about that interruption before. Well, I actually rediscovered this deck. It was like underneath my altar. I did some furniture rearranging. And this is the Oracle of Shadows and Light. And I don't even know, I think I might have used this like once, like ever. Like the box is still crisp. Okay. Whoa. That doesn't seem right. Okay. Cool. So, what is the closing guidance for Sky coming from this deck? We have the Ghost of the Pumpkin Patch. Count your blessings. Number 1. Ghost of the Past. The past returns for a time. Number 42. Well, can you see? I hope so. And the Fairy of the Highlands. It's time to be brave. Okay. And look, she's strapped up. I don't know, like, what the venue is. If it's, like, outdoor, maybe you could, like, bring something with you. I don't know what the concert rules are. But even if it's not, like, concert, because you resonate with not feeling like you feel safe and bold enough, I think this could also apply to your relationship with Axel. Like, you're going through the darkness with this person, but they're not bringing you into the darkness with them. Does that make sense? Like, they're not including you in their shadow, but you are still in their shadow because you are with them. So you're fighting like an imaginary force. You don't even really know what the true obstacle or blockage is. You're not being allowed to know what the true obstacle or blockage is, but you know that it exists, and you know that it's like existing kind of in this moment to block what you want to see happen. So you're having to deal with that. You're having to deal with those insecurities, and you're being asked to remember that you're already favored in your position as you currently exist. Alright, and this is I Am Kali, from Death Comes Rebirth. So, and there's 13. It's my lucky number. From Death Comes Rebirth. So this doesn't really seem like the end of anything. Storm Angel. Collision of beliefs, styles, attitudes, and energy. I think it's something about like harnessing some of this like sadness that you could be in, and I think the more that you do that, this is like the poster of the whole deck, the more that you do that, the more you kind of depict yourself as someone who can be relied upon in difficult times anyways. So, you know, allow yourself to move through this energy as necessary. I definitely feel like your guys want you to know that you're not in any risk of losing anything, but that you should like that doesn't mean that you have to like pretend that you're not upset about what's going on either. So, you know, maybe you didn't react in the moment to Axel. That doesn't mean you can't react at all. So if there is a time in which you feel expressive, let yourself express yourself, even if that comes along with like attitude or grief. And don't worry about what comes on the other end of whatever your truth is to this person, because I don't think you have anything to worry about losing them. This is a situation where you're mutually committed even through difficulty. You're proving that to each other through the difficulty. From Death Comes Rebirth. You're like inevitably going to go through life cycles with this person. So like this seems like one of those times when this person could be going through some kind of depression or lashing out at the world in a general sense, and you happen to be one of the people who gets hit with an arrow, not because they were necessarily aiming for you, but because this person is a person who, like, you know, they're a monster, but they do love you. So yeah, okay, that's what I have for this reading, and I hope that this helps, guy. Thank you so much for your patience, and I hope that it gave you all the insights that you need to kind of give yourself some peace moving forward. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.